nostalgic about those days. But today, and I know, and I am involved in a number of cases of Kenyans who are outside and are suffering outside of the Republic of Kenya, and you ask for assistance, not even an acknowledgement letter is written to you.
We've even lost citizens in Tanzania.
And nobody appears to be bothered. We have citizens in Dubai who are detained. Nobody is talking about them. We have citizens in the United States of America. Nobody is talking about them. And one therefore wonders, why do we have these individuals who are paid using taxpayers' money in those spaces? There is no shortage of Kenyans who can discharge this function. And when we speak as we do, then we are vilified and demonized. And they use the Kiswahili word, wachache wasiotosheka. How can we be satisfied when we can see that pain is being visited upon our kith and kin? We cannot be satisfied. We cannot afford that luxury. I would have thought right now, in light of what is going on in the East African region, in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, South Sudan, Somalia, and Democratic Republic of Congo and Burundi, I would have thought that an extraordinary meeting of the East African community would be summoned to discuss the crisis, because there is a crisis in the region. I would have thought that this is the time to convene such a meeting, to discuss what is happening, because the East African community is threatened. We thought that we would now be moving towards integration. But listen to the rhetoric. Are we talking as people who are moving towards integration?
We've even been threatened by about the Indian Ocean accessed by the president of Uganda. And I don't think Kenya has said a thing.
Kenya has not said a thing. Perhaps that is wise diplomatically. I believe that what we should do as a country is to engage the president of the Republic of Uganda. And our communication should be that the ocean is for us to share. This is a common right. We have a duty, and some of us, in order to give meaning to those relationships, say that Uganda is not landlocked, Uganda is land-linked. South Sudan is not landlocked, is land-linked. Burundi is not landlocked, it is land-linked. Rwanda is not landlocked, is land-linked. In other words, the ports of Bagamoyo in Tanzania, Tanga, Mtwara, the port of Mombasa, the port of Lamu are available to them. If there are any hitches, these are things that should be handled diplomatically. And if we engage in that space and we are moving towards integration, even that kind of rhetoric becomes unnecessary. And this is why I hold the view that there are so many issues flying around in the East African region that it is necessary for the heads of states and government to do a quick meeting. And once they have done the quick meeting and have identified the issues, then the issues for determination can be cascaded to the relevant ministers, and the relevant ministers then cascade it to the bureaucrats.
Is it that we're too expectant of these leaders to do that? Because you've, of course, pointed out the election of Samia is questionable.
Yes.
When you look at it. But these same presidents, we are saying ought to have a meeting, were the first to send their congratulations, and yet people are dying. They said nothing about it.
You know, we are also in a space of what I call hear no wrong, see no wrong, be politically correct. And in this era of political correctness, a lot of things are being swept under the carpet. But who is your friend? He or she is your friend who tells you that you have made a mistake. Because if you have a friend that does not tell you the mistakes you have made, then you don't need enemies. And that is, in my view, the space in which we find ourselves. Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan, whom I know and respect, will have it very difficult to even travel outside of Tanzania. It will not be easy because the environment is being created in which wherever she will be going, there'll be people who will be questioned. And I travel across the continent of Africa and I read the sentiments across the continent of Africa. They are not favorable. So the first thing that would have done would be to say, yes, you have an election. Perhaps we cannot take it back, but engage the opposition. Release everybody who is in detention. Because governance sometimes requires forgiveness. Release all of them. Enter into negotiations with them. Begin the process of constitution review so that Tanzanians have a conversation. Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere said it many years ago, that the moment you stop listening to the people, that is the moment you expose yourself to danger. The moment you dismiss your population as nincompoops who have nothing to offer, that is the moment you begin to lose it. The moment you begin to believe that you have a monopoly of knowledge and wisdom and that you cannot be advised, that is the moment you begin to lose it. And history is consistent. It has examples. So we must have the moral courage to speak the truth and let the chips fall where they are and where they may. And you know, when you are speaker of the truth, you don't need to rehearse. It is liars who rehearse. Speakers of truth just speak the truth because they mean well, even when it does not appear as if they do.